Alright, let's get to work. How's everybody doing tonight? Alright, just realized I need to take this ring off. So, I am working on a bronze and stainless chainmail jelly cube. And let me weave this in here and I'll show you what we're talking about. How's the chain gang tonight? We've got focus, there we go. We got the bronze, and we got the stainless steel, and then the sides are a combo of bronze and stainless steel. So, it's coming along. We got one more layer, or one more row on each side, or on three sides rather. And then we'll finish this one. As you can see, I started this last layer here. I've got to finish that, and then this is done. I'm excited, and I have enough rings for it, I'm pretty sure. So, that's how my day is going. If I focus, I don't know if I can get these done by tomorrow. We'll see. We will see. So, how's everybody's weekend going so far? I had a little after-school Halloween party get-together thing for my kid. Went and did that. It was pretty fun, but apparently the adults were in the gazebo dining party area, and all the kids were kind of down this hill near a pond, and there were some fist fights, and the kids were sitting there swearing at each other, and basically chaos broke out. So that was fun to find out after the fact. And you're like, well, if all the adults were there, what were the kids doing fighting? We couldn't really see them. We just, kept track of them by hearing their voices. Is that 3D chainmail or is it magnets? It's chainmail. I don't know if I can utter that name out loud. Some names are fine, some aren't. But, yeah, so I've got a chainmail cube that I'm working on. We've got 9 rows done. We need to do one more, and then it'll be all done. You've had it for years? Okay. How are you tonight? Excuse me. We are making 3-dimensional chainmail. It's one of the cool things about chainmail is you can make pretty much anything you've set your mind to. I have my mind on a certain project, and I will announce that once I start it. Hang on. Excuse me. Oh. Excuse me. Been fine all day down here. The instant I start streaming. Must be like the dust in the fan in the overhead camera or something. But the one thing I love about chainmail is that you can make pretty much anything you want. There's a weave that will fit your criteria. You just got to figure out how to make it and have the right ring size. And I have such a project, and I've been thinking about it for a while, and I've got some research to do, but I think I've figured out how I'm going to do it, so I'm excited. You have to bend the rings at the corners. Let me find you a bigger ring. So you open the rings like so. Like you grab the sides, like that's a closed ring, and then you grab the sides and open it like so. As opposed to, I've seen when I started out, see if I can do this. I've seen people try and open their rings that way, and then try and close them back up. Doesn't, I mean, there's no wrong way to do it. There's just Better ways. That ring's all out of round now. It's fine. One ring to sacrifice everything. How's the massive jelly cube going? It's going. I've got one more layer to put on it, and then it's done. Wait, which massive cube? The 30-pound cube is done. How? I really don't want to slip with these chisel nose pliers. They're very... See that camera focus? They're very sharp. Right? Those will get you if you're not careful. So this is my moderately sized jelly cube, and I call it that because the admin of the large chainmail group over on Facebook has a 750,000 ring cube that he's working on. It's like 2 feet by 2 feet by 1.5 inches tall or something. And this is much smaller than that. This only has 18,000 some odd rings in it, right? These are the new Zurons. I got them early, and I've been working with them for about 3 months, and I like them a lot. Not that one, the Ringception cube. I'll have to go grab it. But yeah, it's done. I just got to finish the display. Hang on a sec. So there it is. Oh. In all its glory. There's 4 ball bearings on the top and the bottom, and then 2 on each side. There's the 2. And then there's the 4. There you go. And it's all done. I just got to finish the display. Waiting for my next paycheck from work, and I should be able to order some of the original pipe display I had planned. Did not work out. So I've got the a different setup in mind that I'm going to go play on pipedecor.com and figure out what pieces I need to put it all together. But it's all done. That's epic. Thanks for grabbing it. No problem. I don't keep it right here because, you know, just moving it shakes the whole desk. And Renee, how you doing? It's like, I like finishing large projects and then getting them out of the way because it means that I'm making progress. So when my desk is clear, then I can start on new projects. Though I'm not going to lie, I'm very tempted to start this next project early. These are the new Zurons. I got them earlier than everyone else and have been testing, playing with them, and dropping them. But I got the chisel nose, and I got a 483 blunt nose. Excuse me. And what's your opinion on them? I like them. I like them better than the blue-handled Zurons. These are nice. They're great. They're Zurons. You know, you can't go wrong. But with the padding, a little easier to work with them for longer periods. And I do have to admit that it took a while to get used to the size. And I have heard some people complain that the padding makes them too big for their hands. So if you have small hands, you might be just fine with the blue-handled Zurons. Yeah, just because of the grip. But after working with them for the last 3 months or so, I don't have any problems. I like them. they'll be available. If you're watching and you're wondering like what the hoopla is over pliers, it's like we had these blue handled Zerons for the longest time, and they're really good, but the handles are a bit narrow, and you know they can cramp your hand after a while. We finally have Zerons with big pads on them, and I like them. I don't have any complaints. They will be available in a couple of weeks. What is his name? Kurt Fargo. Works with Micro Tools and like caters to the chainmail community and got us these pliers. And he said that they will be ready, I believe, at the end of October, beginning of November. And you can pre-order them at zeronplus.com. So if you want to see all the options, it's zeronplus.com. You end up getting the blue ones. You wanted to order the chisel nose, but they haven't stocked them. Yep, that happens. I like the chisel nose. I am deathly afraid of them. Right? Losing my grip on the plier and just having it slide into my hand. I've seen them just bite the crap out of other people. I've nicked myself a few times, and that's about it. So I'm grateful so far. I definitely recommend grabbing all the styles of Zerons. I have 2 pairs of cutters now that I got as a test product, and they cut great, but I don't really cut a lot of wire or rings, so I didn't use them as much as I did the pliers, and I've used the pliers almost exclusively, except for on stream, because I wasn't allowed to show these to anybody until they were announced. And so I'd use them all day and then switch to the blue-handled Zerons, these ones, for streaming. Lol, new fear unlocked, yeah. Yep. Well, here's the chisel nose. I'll show you how sharp they are, right? Those will get you. So, I am going to have all the plier sets of Zerons because I think that they're handy to have around. And I think if you've been doing chainmail as long as I have, it's nice to have specialty pliers for what you do. But if you're just starting out, you know, by no means do you have to have fancy pliers for making chainmail. Though the sooner you get to fancy pliers for chainmail, the better off you'll be in the long run. So spoil yourself. And Zerons are relatively cheap. They're like $20 a pair, $22 a pair, something like that. So I don't mind shelling out the cash for them, as compared with some of the other plier brands. But let's see here. If you're looking for pliers and plier recommendations, if you go to my link tree, the first link is my little link tree shop. And it's got all the Amazon affiliate links for different types of pliers that are recommended by the chainmail community. Certainly not all of them, but many of them. Other than that, I've got layer 9 completed on all sides on this cube, so we're just starting layer 10. And I think I'll finish up tomorrow. I'm hoping to finish up tomorrow. So figure we got quite a while to work tonight, so we'll see how far we get. But I'll finish this one up tomorrow or Monday night, maybe at the latest. And then this cube will be finished up as soon as possible too. I was hoping to have this done before supplies came in on this one, but this is a commission, so you got to get this done first. So I spent the day looking for a piece of jewelry for my necklace. I need a pendant for my necklace that I'm wearing, this one right here. I want a Celtic cross, and I scoured everywhere for something adequate, and I did not find what I was looking for. What's up? So when I got done looking for that pendant, when I went to any of the social media websites, all the advertisements were for different Celtic jewelry sites. It was very predictable, shall we say. So I did that, and I did training modules for work. Still grinding my way through those. I don't know, I'm probably 3/4 of the way through. So I'll be done with those soon. It's just, you know, go through the module, take the quiz. If you fail the quiz, go through the module again, take the quiz again until you get it right. Usually it's not that hard to get it right the first time. So a lot of just, you know, just enthralling stuff that I'm learning about the policies and procedures of the company I just started working for. So loads of fun. Comes with every job at this point. And I've got patients to see next week. And I've got to go meet up with one other employee, and I've got to pick up my company car. So it'll be a busy week next week too, but hopefully getting more into a routine of, you know, getting up, going to work, going to see patients, and then coming home. Shouldn't be too bad. And if I can learn their charting system, then that'll be good. The sooner I can learn it, the better, because I want to be able to chart very quickly so that I can come stream in the evenings. I don't want to be stuck charting all night. There are days where that inevitably will happen. I'm going to try and avoid those as much as possible, but going back to work really cuts down on my ability to work on projects, and it's just going to kind of slow everything down. So I'm going to do what I can to get a few hours in each day, because despite the progress I've made over the last year, I still have a lot of stuff to do. So I will catch up one day. I hope. If I can avoid starting new projects, that's the trick. If I can avoid starting new projects, then I will be able to sift through the pile of rings that I have and get them done. And considering this cube was 40,000 rings plus, and the Finnegan's Wake inlay was 30,000 plus rings, I have gotten a considerable amount of work done this year. But after these 2 cubes, I'm done with cubes for a bit. I'm not gonna. I've got this one to work on, but I'm not gonna order any more supplies for this for a while because I like cubes. They're fun. I am cubed out. Cubed out, man. Not only do I have other projects that I've dreamed up, I've got all the old projects I still have to work through. So, but we'll get there. One ring at a time. Come on. So what are you guys up to this weekend? So we did a little bit of housekeeping, a little bit of laundry. Other than that, didn't do much else today. It's like my kid is running around with his friends somewhere in the neighborhood. So hopefully he will sleep good tonight. Excuse me. Don't know what else. What else is going on? Come on. We did talk to my neighbor's grandson's half-sister tonight about joining the military. Gave her some tips and tricks. When I joined, it was a long time ago. I'm very old, despite how I look. If you're joining the military, if you're thinking about joining the military, which I don't know if anyone is, but if you are, just know that your recruiter is going to lie to you and tell you everything you want to hear to get you to join. But unless it's in your contract when you go to MEPS, which is where they write up your contract for things like your GI Bill, getting college that you've already attended paid for, all that stuff. Changing your, getting your, getting a higher rank because you've done some college, right? All those things can be used or can be negotiated with to help you get the job you want. And your recruiter may or may not tell you that. They just want to get bodies in the door and in the military. Or at least they did when I was going in, right? Because at that time, we were at war with 2 different countries. And they were taking everyone. It's like, in order to join the military, you have to have... I don't know what they use now, but you have to have an IQ like over 78, right? They use the ASVAB now, so I don't know what the minimum score is to get in. But they kept lowering the minimum score on the entrance exam during OIF and OEF back in the early 2000s, right? Your brother is joining? 31 on the ASVAB? That sounds about right. It's if you go and you score a 31 on the ASVAB, go home, take some practice tests, and then go take the ASVAB again. You can take it like as many times as you want. Do you know, Colt, how you doing tonight? What branch is your brother joining? If you don't mind me asking. You don't have to share that information, but... So when I was going in, I definitely had guys that had just above the minimal passing score going in at the same time as me. That was very noticeable. Going to the Army? Right on. I was in the Army. But if you do poorly and there's like a specific job you want to get, there are practice tests that you should take beforehand. And if you do bad, go and take some more practice tests and then go take the ASVAB again. So, like I said, they were taking anybody and everybody back in the early 2000s. It wasn't until lately that, they had enough people in the military. And then all of a sudden their recruiting numbers were dropping like crazy. Probably because they'd been at war for 20 years and that they couldn't resolve. Right? So right now, there's like two major conflicts going on in the world where we don't have troops on the ground the way we did back in the early 2000s. So I don't know what jobs are going to be available, right? I got very lucky just because everything was open pretty much. He's going to be a fireman? Right on. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate you. It's like they had, I scored high enough on the ASVAB that they basically said I could have any job I wanted. So I became a nurse haphazardly. I just fell into the medical field through no fault of my own. It just sounded like the best job. But since we're not at war, quote unquote, I don't know if the option is going to be same for the neighbor girl. We'll see. But the military has been, it's definitely been better to me since I got out. That's for sure. It's like there is the VA loan that got us the house. There's a clause in the HOA agreement that says if you're a disabled vet, you don't have to pay the HOA fee. So I finally got the HOA off my back because they're annoying. They don't do anything, and they want, it's like $100 a year. Meanwhile, everybody and their brother is violating the so-called HOA rules, and nobody enforces it. It's like, I'm not giving you $100, to do nothing. If you did something, if there was evidence of you doing something and you weren't a problem, if you weren't heavy-handed about it, that's one thing. But you're not supposed to have boats or trailers or Winnebagos in your driveway for like more than a week. And we had a guy that, it's an HOA, you can't have your vehicle up on blocks in your front yard. And I'm like, this is America. I can put my vehicle up on blocks in my front yard if I want. But we had a guy who was restoring a camper in his driveway for months. And they didn't do anything about it. And it's like, I'm not going to give you $100 just because you say so. It's not the cost, it's the principle of the matter. But once I got my disability paperwork, there's a clause in there that says I don't have to pay them anymore, so I gave him the finger and called it a day. It's like the military paid for my education. Once I got out, I was already a licensed nurse, and then I went and got my BSN, my Bachelor's of Science in Nursing, all paid for by the military. Which, speaking of that, I haven't checked on this, but I read in like themilitarytimes.com or something, some soldier took the VA to the Supreme Court over the fact that he had paid into his Montgomery GI Bill, right? Which got switched over to, like, they stopped the Montgomery GI Bill and they made the post 9/11 GI Bill. And so my understanding of the Supreme Court ruling was that people who paid in the $100 for 12 months when they first go in the military will still be able to use their Montgomery GI Bill. So I might have more money for school here coming up. I haven't heard anything more on that, so not that I don't want to go to school or anything, but you know, if you get paid to go. I was talking to one of the instructors at one of the colleges in town, and they require their instructors to have doctorates, right, for their nursing program. And then all the other colleges require you to have a master's or be enrolled in a master's program. I don't have time to do that right now, but I don't know. I never know what the future holds, right? It's like I quit working at 40, and 2.5 years later, I'm going back to work, right? So who knows? But the VA loan, school got paid for. Don't have to pay my HOA fees. I get a break in my property taxes. It's like there's some nice benefits that come after being in the military. You just got to go through the suck of the military. Was I trying to retire at 40? No. I didn't have any intention of retiring at 40. It was right in the middle of C-19, the pandemic, and I got my 100% disability, and I said, this is all nonsense. I don't have to deal with it. I'm going home. So I took my ball and I went home. And then I did this for 2.5 years and gained 30 pounds. I was not happy when I stepped on the scale the other day. I was like, oh, I should be more active. So hopefully going back to work, if I monitor what I eat, I'll be able to slim back down a little bit. But we will see what happens. Trying to think. It's like I was a poor boy living in a trailer. And you know, the benefits after the military definitely helped me to where I am today. So it's like I can only knock the military so much. Do I still work on 100%? Yes. I am just now going back to work. What 100% disability for the VA means is that you cannot go and be, like, I can't go and be a soldier anymore. I can't do my job in the military. But you can still go get a civilian job. It's not like Social Security, where if you get Social Security disability, you can only make so many dollars a year. I think it's like $24,000 a year if you're on Social Security disability. Excuse me. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. But with VA disability, you can still do whatever you need to do. Thought the VA paid enough to live on 100%. It does. It pays pretty well. The issue is I had to put $4,000 into my truck this year. My AC went out. That was another $4,000. My taxes doubled. My grocery bills doubled. My kids' tuition went up when I travel the world because I have a kid in school. And there's nowhere I want to go. Right? Like, I will drag my kid around to go see stuff. But that's the only reason I'll travel. My brother lives out in Japan. And so he wants me to go out there and see him. And I might do that. But I've been all over the world. I've been all over the United States. I've seen it. I've seen every rock formation west of the Mississippi. Thanks to my dad. So if I can emulate that with my kid, that'd be great. And more than willing to travel to do that. But it's like, I am a homebody, and I've got a lot of work to do at home. Like opening and closing these rings over and over again until I make something cool. And if I ever want to finish the other 9 to 14 large sculptural chainmail pieces, you know, I've got to be here basically. So I've never been to Mexico. I've been to Canada. Bunch of different countries on my way to Iraq and back. I am not interested in doing the 24-hour flight across the pond ever again. I don't like flying as it is. The flying's fine. I don't have a problem with that. It's the process of flying. Going through the airport. Well, I wish you're fulfilling life, brother. Appreciate you. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate you too. Yeah, it's not that I don't like flying. It's I don't like airports. Right? I'm very tired of airports and airport security and these clowns that run it. Excuse me. Sorry to anyone who is a TSA agent, but... And planes. Planes are not comfortable things to be on. So, if I go anywhere, I take my truck, I drive there. It's like when my dad got sick, I drove from here to Idaho. When I went to go visit him, I drove from here to Idaho. I don't fly anywhere. Especially, you know, like I will get on a plane to go see my brother because, you know, you make sacrifices for family. I'm willing to do that. But other than that, no, I don't have any desire anymore. It's like, if I need to see some obscure place in the world, I'll, you know, get on. I was just about to say I'd get on Instagram to check it out, but then I remembered that my Instagram account is locked right now. So I'm just not going to see the world. So I wish there was a way to resolve my Instagram account issue. I'm waiting like 3 weeks. I think was like the lockout period. And then hopefully I'll be able to regain access to it. But if I can't, then I will start a new Instagram page. Which kind of, it really sucks because after years of having an Instagram account, I finally, like, it started growing. I had a video go viral. Like, never had that happen on any platform before. And then it happened on TikTok, and then started happening on Instagram, and then after that it was, my Instagram account got hacked, and it was really stupid of me I had a really simple password on my Instagram account. Like, really simple. And I wasn't thinking. I had like linked my Instagram account to Facebook. Am I making chainmail? Yeah. Name haver. How you doing? I am. I'm making a chainmail cube. And I have a chainmail cube to the right of me and another one in front of me. So I'm working on a bronze and stainless cube. And it wiggles. It's got a wiggle to it. And it's a ton of fun. Right now I'm working on the last layer on this cube. So we got to add... I'm working on the last row on this cube. It's supposed to be 10 by 10 on each side. And so that's 2 layers on 3 sides, which I've marked with a ring here. So this side I'm working on, and then this side right here. I'll add 2 layers to it, and it'll be a 10 by 10 by 10. And then it will go to its new owner. And then I will finish this one. I've already got the last layer started here. And I've got enough rings to finish it. I'm looking to get this done. And off of my desk, because it takes up a lot of space. It's oddly satisfying, not going to lie. They're fun. They're fun. Just plain and simple. If you're easily amused like I am, they're great fidget toys. Thanks for sharing the stream. Appreciate it. So what was I saying? We were talking about traveling, and it's like I've been to Mexico. I've been to Victoria, Canada, out west. Went to Cragdrock Castle. So I've been to the Hoover Dam and seen the Grand Canyon and been to Mesa Verde National Park, all while I was growing up. All cool things to see. I took my kid out to Idaho 2 years ago, and then this next year I'm hoping to do some more traveling with him. But getting on a plane, unless I'm willing to do it for my brother, but that's about it. He was scuba diving. He called me this morning, so it was his nighttime. And he was scuba diving, I guess, yesterday night, his morning time. And he said there were 3 sharks. He was at a place called the Toilet Bowl. I was like, yeah, bro, that's why I don't go in the water. It's because there's sharks in the water. But he has enjoyed scuba diving. He's had a lot of fun. Him and his wife go. And I'm not getting in the water. Any water. Hot tub, pool, the ocean, lakes. It's like after almost drowning and then doing CPR on a little girl 2 years ago now. It's like I'm good, man. I'm good. So last year we took my kid to the Dells here in Wisconsin, the Dells is kind of like these mud pancake stacks, right? So like a stack of pancakes made of mud, and they're all irregularly shaped. That's the Dells. It's pretty cool. It's interesting, go see it at least once since we live in Wisconsin. We went on a little riverboat ride and had some nice weather. It was fun. Then we went to like Great Wolf Lodge or something, which is like a hotel with multiple water parks inside. So it was fun. My kid had fun. Can't complain, right? But there's other stuff in Wisconsin I want to take him to go see. It's just a matter of planning it. Now that I'm back at work, I'll have funding to go do these things. Don't like slipping my pliers. I don't, for anyone who was not here when I was working on this 30-pound cube over here, right? You won't know that I still have a scar. It wasn't the chisel nose pliers that I'm working with right now, which I'll show you. They're very sharp, right? So I'm very scared of these, legitimately. But these are spring steel rings, these regular stainless ones, not the black ones. And I was using these wubbers here to close them. And at some point in time, the wubbers slipped, and I hit my knuckle. I was okay. And then I did it like 3 or 4 more times, and just the last one, I just gouged the crap out of my knuckle. So if you're going to start making chainmail, just be careful. You can get hurt. It's like it was actually like at the end of the stream. I probably had maybe 10 minutes to go. And I was like, all right, I'm shutting it down early because I'm bleeding all over the place. It's not fun to get hurt with pliers. So, and with these sharp chisel nose pliers from Xuron, it's yeah. I do not want to slip. All right, where are we? Excuse me. This is going quick. We might get through. Where are we at here? 8:50. And we'll get through this layer and then one more for sure, or most of the last one. How wide is this? Where are we at here? So we'll be at 2.5 inches on each side when it's all done. It's like 12,000 rings. I'm gonna guess and say it's 12,000 rings. Let's see how close I am. Where's my other window? That's right there. All right, what is a 10 by 10 rows? I want to go to 10. Not offset. Oh, it's half that. Yeah, I'm way off. All right, it'll be 6,000 rings. According to a calculator done by someone who knows more about the math behind cubes than I do. So I trust them a lot more than myself when it comes to those things. Finally, someone doing something. Yeah, we're working on stuff. Getting projects done. How you doing, Mark? There are very few streams that I'll pop in on where someone is just talking. Myself. Mostly because I think that your makeup tutorial is just not going to cut it for me. You know what I mean? Doing good? Right on, right on. Nice to see some creativity. It gets pretty creative around here. I like to think I have good ideas and that I make cool stuff. So I'm excited. After finishing this giant cube next to me, right, this one right here, it was quite a grind, but I got through it. And I realized just the scope of projects that I can complete is actually pretty big. So I have some stuff planned in the future. One day. Gotta get a lot of stuff done before then. So we'll see what happens, but this is it's just a cube. Once you figure out how to weave it, it's not that hard. And I've done this large one, this one right here, which I'm almost finished with, and then working on finishing up this one here, right? And they're not hard, but there's a lot of rings in them, and it's very... You need help. How you doing? I'm not talking to myself. I am streaming to Facebook, Twitch, X, and YouTube all at the same time. And I've got that over here on my computer and TikTok over here and 2 comment sections. So all right. So I've got this. I've got 9 to 14 more sculptures to make. And a backlog of old projects that I want to get through. And it's slowly but surely getting done. The next project I have on my list is the toolkit on my Road King. I'm going to wrap that in chainmail. And then a gas tank bib. That's my next project. So like a leather gas tank bib with chainmail on top, and then I am going to try and get the hydro dipping done for all the pieces, the front and rear fenders, the side panels, the gas tank. I'm going to get that hydro dipped in a chainmail pattern. And then get it all put back together, hopefully before next riding season. It would be awesome to have the artwork done on the bike, and then next year I'll focus on performance improvements. So, and then once that's done, that bike project will be done. But I do have to, what do you call it? I do have to keep on top of my work, right? Because the saddlebags that I did for the Road King, those took way too long. So I need the toolkit to go fairly fast, and I need the gas tank bib to go fairly fast. The issue with getting the bike done, though, is I gotta take it to the shop, and I'm gonna take it December, January timeframe. Hopefully they will be mostly empty and have room, and if I have to leave the bike there for a little longer than a couple of days, they won't really mind, right? I don't want to leave the bike there in pieces while it's getting hydro dipped, you know, and have them, you know, get irritated with me being there. So December, January, hopefully they'll be empty, and then they can take the parts off that I need. I'll drive it down to the individual I want to do the work. I'll get it hydro dipped and then drive it back up. have them put everything back together, and then trailer the bike home because there's bound to be a foot of snow on the ground at that point, or 2 feet or 4. It's southeastern Wisconsin, so we get snow and then it stays, and then we get more snow and then it stays some more. So it's the ever growing snow pile. Not last year. Last year was good snow, good snowfall, good winter. I can't complain. But 2 or 3 years ago, and this, I know other people have it worse, and I'm not trying to complain, but this was absurd. I had snow piles from the snow plows in my front yard that were taller than I was. My mailbox was hidden. I had to dig a hole so that my mailman could deliver the mail. It was absurd. It was a ridiculous amount of snow. Like, to the point where we were running out of places to put it. I think that was the same year that, the Sierra Nevadas and Lake Tahoe got, 50 feet of snow. So it was, 3 years ago or something. Can you all hear the corgi barking in the background? Haven't forgot about the bracelets you got in a bad car accident. Justin, how you doing? Bracelets. You'll have to refresh my memory, but don't do it through... okay. I know what you're talking about. And we were talking on Instagram. My Instagram account is locked up, so don't contact me through there. But here or YouTube or Facebook or X, my Instagram account is inaccessible for the time being. So if that's you, I'm very sorry you were in a car accident, though. That's awful. A friend of mine was recently in a car accident. He lost his Jeep. He's not here tonight, but usually I give him a shout out whenever he is. He had a fire, he was hanging out on stream, a couple nights. And he had a fire, and his house was condemned. Lost a lot of stuff. Had to move in with in-laws. And then, 7 months later, he gets into a bad car accident, loses his primary vehicle. So... You got my phone number? Okay. Oh, yeah, okay. I know who you are. Shoot me a message. I will shoot you an image if you want it. Probably the easiest way to contact me. Speaking of phones, my phone has been on silent for the last 5 years, and I had to turn the ringer back on for work. And I knew that I got a lot of notifications, but I had silenced most of them. But once I turned that ringer back on so I could get phone calls from work, because my work will not provide a work phone. They'll provide a company car, but not a work phone. They'll give you $40 a month for you to use your own phone. But the ringer's finally back on, and my phone has just been ringing and dinging and, notification after notification. It's absurd. It's no wonder I put this on Do Not Disturb. But I did figure it out. I've got it so that only my favorites and my contacts should be able to call through Do Not Disturb, and everything else should be silent. Yes, you would send them pictures. Just message me and remind me what we were talking about. and I will send you photos. Come on. There we go. But having my phone on silent was a blessing. I definitely recommend it. If you can make it so that only certain people can make your phone make noise and everything else is silent, I definitely recommend that. It's like, for a while there, before I figured it out, it's like I had to look at my phone every 5 seconds because I was getting so many notifications. Alright. You gotta stretch when you're making chainmail, because if you don't, you hurt yourself. And take a lot of breaks. I realize that, the more time dedicated to a project, the quicker it'll get done. But the reality is that I can do about 1,600 rings a day physically. And I've been doing this for a long time. So if you're new to chainmail or just starting out, don't try to push it that far, all right? It's like you've not developed the musculature, and you haven't worn your joints down enough to avoid an injury. Did I get a message? I have not gotten one. But I am in my basement. It may take a bit to go through, so I don't know. I won't be able to respond until I'm done streaming, but I will respond. Oh. Yeah, no, nothing right now. Man, my glasses are dirty. I know you guys aren't here to watch me clean my glasses, but it's amazing. Like, I feel like I'm good about not touching my glasses, and then every time I turn around, there's crap all over them. It's like, did I even clean these ever? And I realized I need to go get another eye exam. Get some new glasses. I'm at that age where it's more difficult to see at night. The peripheral vision ain't as great as it once was. And it's like my glasses they're getting thicker. That's better. That is significantly better. There we go. Don't want to leave any flakes of metal in here. I can see them. They came off my hand and got onto the cleaning pad. Oh well, I need new glasses, and when I get new glasses, I'll get a new cleaning pad. Flecks of metal are hard to avoid. Little pieces of glitter, right? Now you can't tell from here, but I've got little shards all over the work mat here. And a handy dandy way to deal with them is a lint brush. And it just picks them right up. There we go. So I had some laundry done, my work clothes from last week. and they were covered in dog hair. It's like we have a corgi, and they shed a ton. And something got washed with my work clothes that was covered in dog hair, and it got all over my work clothes. And I got the lint brush out, and I went through several sheets just getting the dog hair off my clothes. So good for more than just picking up glitter. Can I give you a call after I'm done? I can try. Please block you? Like, really? Or okay, fine. User 3852649686570. Pick one, and I will... Your wish is my command. Okay. If that's what you want. Oh, I didn't block him. I hit mute. Oops. I failed. He has to be blocked, and I hit the wrong button. Sorry. So, what else we got? We got driving everywhere instead of going on planes. We got finishing up projects. We talked about the benefits of joining the military. It's like, I didn't know any vets growing up. How long did it take me to do this? About 4 months. Let's see here. All of May. No. I'd have to go back and look at my YouTube channel, but like all of May or June, and then all of July and August. Yeah, so 3 months plus. It's 40,000 rings, 42,000 I think. And it's a hefty project. There are 22 ball bearings, 6 internal and to help with rigidity, and then 6 on the outside, 4 on top, 4 on the bottom, 2 on each side. And then once I get my next paycheck, I'll be ordering the parts from Pipe Decor to make a display for it, because the initial plan for my display did not work out. It's one of those things that I had an idea in my head and I could not bring it to fruition. I was going to suspend it from a cable, and the cable got chewed up in the process, and I kept trying to fix it and it didn't work. So I had to give up on that idea, but I've got another idea, two other ideas, one that will work and one that might work. So we'll see what happens. But all of my sculptures will have some sort of display that goes along with them. So that's part of the process. Then I get the Rubik's Cube done. I never made a Rubik's Cube. Like I've done this cube. I've done a smaller version of this in this ring size. You can see the ring size difference right there. These are a lot smaller. Someone bought that from me. And I've seen people make cubes for the purpose of making a Rubik's Cube deal, but I've never made one myself. That's what you're talking about? Yeah. It got done as far as it was going to get done. I started this one to start that particular cube over. And then since I've done this cube here and I'm working on this cube and they're both almost done, I'm pretty much just cubed out right now. So I'm not going to pick this project up for a while. It's small enough, it's out of the way, it can stay there for however long. I've got other projects I need to get done. So, but yes, I did finish that one. I was trying to get that one up to 20 rows, and 20 rows is like 44,500 rings or something. I only ended up getting it up to 16 rows, and then someone wanted it badly enough to give me enough money to part with it, so. So I would like... I would like to get a cube up to 20 rows on each side. It's just a... There's nothing meaningful behind that, really. It's just to say that I did it. Just to have a cube that size. It's like making a chainmail shirt, right? I'm not going to go fight in the chainmail shirt, but I have made them. I made 3. Just, you know, pretty much just to say that I can. I've got them on display down here in the basement, and whenever new people come over, it's fun to have them try the shirts on. Watch them struggle to get them on and off is always fun. They're laughing, you're laughing. Their hair is getting caught, not yours. And whenever my son has friends over and they want to try the shirts on, it's difficult for adults to pick up a chainmail shirt and lift it up over their head and shimmy it onto their body. It's harder for little kids and funnier. I'm not going to lie. Alright, almost done with this layer. Get to start the bronze layer next. These are the easiest of the two. The other 2 layers, the other 2 sides that I've got to add rings to, here and here, they're a combination of stainless and bronze, so they're a little more complicated, whereas this is 1 layer of stainless and then the next layer of bronze, and then it's done on this going up, right? No, I don't want to get metal shavings in my eye. That's another occupational risk. It's like I did not do my due diligence and clean these rings before I started using them. I will tumble the cube when it's all done. Get it nice and shined up before it goes to its new home. And a tumbler, if you work with metal on any scope, you need a tumbler. you're going to find a use for it. Mine is tumbling rings, obviously. And it cleans them, deburrs them, polishes them. Just depends on what media, what tumbling media you use. And I definitely recommend, like, whenever you get rings from pretty much any manufacturer, as long as they're a base metal, like brass, bronze, stainless steel, and they're not anodized. If you get unanodized titanium rings, you know, you can tumble those all day long. Or bright aluminum rings, you can tumble those all day long. But if you get anodized titanium, niobium, or aluminum, you can tumble them for a little bit, and by a little bit, I mean a little bit, like 20 minutes tops. Maybe just to clean them off, give them a nice shine. And I wouldn't use any media, any tumbling media, unless maybe walnut shell. Because all the color will come off. But aside from that, pretty much every other material benefits from being in a tumbler. It's like, there are times when I've been tumbling so much stuff that I wish I had 2 tumblers. But my next tumbler is actually going to be a concrete mixer from a cheap one from Harbor Freight. That will help me tumble large pieces of chainmail. I've seen other people's setups. They'll use like a 55-gallon drum and connect it to a 2-horsepower motor and have some gears on it to help it spin. Some kind of way to suspend the drum. And they'll put shirts in there and tumble them. And that just, you know, it's very, what do you call it? Well, you don't have to have an engineering degree to figure it out, but I think a concrete mixer for like $300 to polish up big pieces is a better investment of my time rather than trying to, you know, rig together some hacked off piece of equipment, you know. Ow, my nose. There are many different setups for cutting rings too that I've seen people use. Hopefully I have a coiling and cutting setup here soon. Don't know how much time I'm going to get to use it because it'll be over the winter. And I don't want to be coiling and cutting inside the house. I'm going to do that out in my shed just because of the mess. But I've seen all kinds of different setups for cutting rings. There's no wrong way to do it. There's just, you know, more efficient, should I say? There's just setups that give you a better cut. I want 10 grand to buy a water jet, a desktop water jet. It'll probably be really time consuming, but I think you can get really nice cuts off of it. I don't know. I've looked into it before, and there's a desktop machine that you can buy that is a water jet. So I think maybe one day when I'm rich and famous, I'll have someone, or I will get one just for giggles to test it out. There's a lot that goes into the ring making process that I'm not familiar with, so like I would never anodize aluminum rings at my house just because it's an electrochemical process, and while I don't fully understand the process, I really don't want the chemicals and dyes used to anodize aluminum near my house or in my yard anywhere. So I will let the professionals do that. So if you ever see me working with anodized aluminum rings, I bought those. I didn't buy these rings. I traded for these rings. I made a smaller cube than this, and I got this many rings for it, which I think was a pretty fair trade. But all the rest of the stuff is rings that were purchased. That's because I used to make my own rings, and I cannot make rings as high quality as what the professionals were making. So I just ordered rings. But like I have over $1,000 into this cube. I think the end total was like $1,300, right? Into this project. And I bought all of these rings, pretty much. Some of them I already had. I had purchased a long time ago, but to finish it, I had to buy some more rings, right? So in order to cut down on that cost, I need to be able to make cheaper rings. I'll get it figured out. One of the many pieces of a chainmail shop that I want. A coiling and cutting setup, and a power supply to anodize titanium. I want to finish my riveting setup so I can make riveted chainmail, which I've never done. I know people that do. And I've got a welder if I want to weld some rings together. So, there may be other tools out there that you can add to your little shop, you know. Come on. There we go. But quality pliers, and the right rings are the basic stuff that you need. And you can go a long way with just some Zurons and some purchased rings, you know. Don't be listening to me and think, "Oh, I got to have all those things too." No, you can just use rings made by someone else and some decent pliers or pliers that you found in your junk drawer. And you can go a long time for that before you need to buy any type of specialty equipment. I do recommend getting a tumbler for everyone, whether you hand make your rings or whatever. Because handmade rings definitely need to be tumbled. Most of the time, well, it's supplier dependent. Don't make a liar out of me. Some suppliers have cleaner rings than others. So they're ready to go out of the bag. They're not dirty. They're polished. They're deburred. That's what you want, that kind of final product when you order rings. So, but if you want to use a cheaper supplier, you might have to tumble them for a little bit in different medias. Like I've got stainless steel shot and ceramic tumbling media. And those have worked pretty well on cleaning up any issues I've had with any rings that I've gotten. I've only heard about, if you've been sitting here for the last hour, I've only heard about polishing anodized aluminum with walnut shell for 10 to 15 minutes. I've never done it myself, so I can't speak to the